Halo 5 is a series I have been playing for a long time, and I have huge emotional attachment to. So, with the announcement of Halo 5, I knew I had to have it just to see if it could fix all of the dumb stuff Halo 4 did. So I went out, bought myself a Halo 5 Xbox One, and got myself Halo 5. And, well, here are my thoughts on what Halo 5 is. So there will be spoilers in this review, as I will be talking about the game in depth, and there are some things I would like to mention that are spoilerish. But let's hop straight into campaign, which has a lot of people split on how it turned out. The main storyline is that Chief is getting visions from Cortana still, and he decides to chase after her when he hears that another team has been given the job of finding where she's located. This instance sets up the whole game as Osiris chases down Blue Team and tries to find Cortana. I personally found different parts of this campaign good and bad. Truthfully, the overall story was pretty bad, with no background given to any of the fire team members you are with besides some small tidbits at the end. And only 3 out of the 15 levels have you playing as Master Chief, making it really hard to get attached to any of the new players alongside Master Chief. They also didn't really dive into a lot of the advertising stuff they mentioned in all of the Hunt the Truth campaigns, which for a lot of people following that sucked. Plus, Spartan Ops was a bit of a build up to Halo 5, but that hype was kind of killed too with the first level of Halo 5, where the main enemy of Spartan Ops, Jewel Madama, is killed in a cutscene. Pretty boringly too, leaving much to be desired for the people who did play and enjoy Spartan Ops. Now, the plot twist that was given at the end with Cortana now being the main villain of the Halo franchise was very well built up, and the one part of the Halo story mode I felt had the best impact on the Halo universe. In all of Halo 5's story, we didn't really get anything. But overall, what we were promised and given for the Halo 5 story is a bit of a disappointment for me. The gameplay, on the other hand, was actually really refreshing from my point of view. Giving all new Spartan abilities and the new air vehicle, it felt great. And with the abilities the Xbox One gives us, we were able to see and have way larger battles going on in-game and on screen, making for a really awesome alien battleground. The first levels show this off really well, and we see a lot more of it throughout the game, having plenty of air fights in the background and way more enemies in an area than there needs to be just to look cool. More prominently in this game are the various routes that can be taken to get where you need to be, making it so that every playthrough can be a bit different. Some levels give you an air vehicle to ride, but if you don't like that, you can always take it by foot and make it that way. Or take a high route or a low route, or just say screw it and smash through a wall to get where you need to be. It makes each playthrough more interesting and definitely gives some variation to Legendary rather than the "this is the only way I can beat this part, I just need to keep going until I get lucky." There is also a new boss for Halo 5, which appears multiple times throughout the story, and even though his fight is a little bit different every time, it gets really boring by the end of the game, and there aren't really many new enemy types to be excited for, and the new guns are okay, I guess. I enjoyed the experience, but I can't really say it's my favorite Halo story. And the 4-player experience with revives was a great idea that I enjoy, but the cut of local co-op for 60 frames per second was a very bad idea in my opinion. Now let's move on to the multiplayer. Oh, it's so good. Everything about Halo 5 multiplayer feels like it should. I was worried with the new implementation of ground smashes, thrusters, stabilizers, and clambering that the game wouldn't feel like Halo again. But the 343 team really pulled it together. The arena part of multiplayer currently has 5 game types, with Team Arena, Slayer, Breakout, Free-for-all, and SWAT. And all of these playlists are great and include a good variety of small arena-style maps, and I really haven't found one I outright hate. When you first enter a playlist you like, you will have to play 10 placement matches, and depending on how well you do in those 10 matches, it will give you a rank from Bronze to Onyx. From there, you can move up in rank if you continue to play well enough. But weirdly, if you keep playing badly, you can never go down a division, like from Gold to Silver. So if you get placed in a high division by fluke, you're stuck playing high-level players and may start getting upset with the game. This isn't the only flaw with matchmaking though, since a lot of the menu screen for matchmaking is just tedious or hard to find your way around. The stats screen doesn't really show enough information after a game, with it not showing Tool of Destruction or any medals you got during the match. And when you're being matched up with a group of people, you can't see any of them, so you don't know who you're facing, or you don't have the ability to mute them if you wish. Another issue at the moment is map rotation, since there is no voting anymore to stop people from voting on the same map over and over again. But there's a problem with the game at the moment that likes to put you into the same map over and over again sometimes. But those few minor gripes out of the way, multiplayer is fantastic and brings back an old school Halo arena shooter feel again. Yeah, they're new abilities, but they are designed well and help the match move along much smoother. Gameplay feels fast and fun, gun balance is spot on, and map design is at its best. The newest game type, Breakout, is a breath of fresh air to the Halo community. Bringing a low health elimination game mode to the series is a great idea that I really enjoy. It brings the community together really well, since you need to communicate in the playlist or you will fail. And having all three of your teammates in game chat is a godsend, because ever since the party system became a thing, it's hard to find people in game chat anymore. So when you do Breakout, you usually quickly make some new friends and have a great time. The second gameplay area in multiplayer is known as Warzone, and these are much larger scale battles. When first spawning in, you'll be dropped at your base, but it's overrun by AI enemies that you need to take out to take your base back. Once you've claimed your base, you can move out and start to capture the other 3 bases in the middle of the map. You gain score depending on kills, how many bases you have captured, and boss kills. Bosses are enemies that appear every so often in the fight as very strong AI enemies. These guys can and will show up on your map as either white or yellow triangles. White bosses are easier and worth only a few points, while the yellow ones are legendary bosses and are worth a huge amount of points that can easily change the outcome of the game. It gives a really large-scale feeling to the Halo multiplayer environment that was never there before, having 12-on-12 action with AI enemies scattered around, and I find it to be a fun experience to go into when you're tired of the competitive feel of Arena. But if you aren't into the whole AI enemies on the map thing, you can still play Warzone Assault, which is 12-on-12 action where one team attacks while the other one has to defend their core. It's a fun game type, but at the moment isn't 100% fair, since the defenders usually have the upper hand and sides don't rotate, it's only one round. So if you get put on the attacking team, good luck, because it can be a really uphill battle. On top of all of this action, Halo 5 also has a new rec system that allows you to buy cards that give you weapons, vehicles, and more in Warzone. These cards can be bought with real money or by just playing the game and getting points to buy them that way, or by completing certain tasks like leveling up or completing combinations. When you open your first pack, you will be given a few things that may seem confusing to you. What you may see are weapon skins and weapon types, or new helmets and armor to wear, but more than likely you will find weapon certifications that will allow you to find those weapons more often in the future card packs you open. Having these cards are important for Warzone, because as you play through Warzone, your rec level increases with time, and you can spend some of this level that you've gained to use on the cards you have obtained. Got a sweet tank card? Well, save up your level in game, and by the end of the match, you can spawn in a tank to help your team take out that core. It is a bit microtransaction-y, and I can see how people may not like it, but I believe it was implemented very well, and I'm glad they only included it in Warzone. With all of these options to choose from, with more to look forward to around the corner like Big Team Battle in a few weeks, double XP weekend playlists that can become regular playlists if the community likes it enough, and the amazingly upgraded Forge mode being released in December, multiplayer is going to be an awesome experience to keep coming back to constantly. And I myself will be playing it for a long time. Overall, Halo 5 is a fantastic addition to the Halo series, and shows 343 Industries now know what needs to be done to make a fantastic game. Sadly though, something happened during the campaign section of development, because I feel like it was lacking horribly compared to the fantastic campaign Halo 4 gave us. Some believe it was time constraints, and many believe it was the lead writer behind the story who just wasn't up for the job. You may know him as the guy who gave us the Season 2 of Spartan Ops story and the Escalation comics.
I don't really think he was up for the job of Halo 5, and I wish they brought back Chris Schlurf, who was the man behind Halo 4's story. But most of us are playing Halo for the multiplayer, and I can say from the bottom of my heart that Halo 5 brings us back to the good old days and memories of Halo 2, where skill was the important things, maps didn't suck, there wasn't horrible bloom and loadouts. It's a great multiplayer experience for Halo vets, and if you were a Halo 4 fan and started off with Halo 4, I hope you can learn to enjoy Halo the way it was meant to be. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. I just have to give a huge shout out to my Patreon supporters. Without you guys, I would not be making videos still. So a big thanks to Jeremy Olivo, Rob LaLiberty, Brad Moore, Andre Drulard, Thomas Bethel, and the YouTubers Cult Gamer Alliance, Cray Trey, What a James, After End Media, and The Game Plank.